Night, as I went to rest, I was thinking about someone I consider my mishpacha, but I also label him a friend. And we text a little bit. He's battling with pneumonia, and so I definitely want to lend out some prayer to him and well wishes, and hoping that he heals. But it brought me to think, though, friends. How many of us have them? Ones we can depend on. Abba Yah, I thank you for this day. I thank you for being my friend, setting me up with a wife who's also my friend, and putting in me the desire to be a friend, even if those around me don't view me as such. Hallelujah. So I had put up a post a little while ago about friendship or whatever, and you know, a respect that I basically said, you know, maybe I make friends too easy, or I put people in the friend zone too easy. And I'm like, I can accept that. I have a lifetime of really getting burned by people that I label as friends, and still it hasn't stopped me from loving them. I may change the relationship to an extent where I don't open myself up and I'm not as vulnerable, but that doesn't stop me from desiring to want to be a friend. I am a friend, so I can't stop being who I am, though others may be different. I've had relationship with some very awesome people. And in that, they probably put me very low on their roster. I'm not the one that's chosen. I'm probably the one that's more tolerated, which again, as time got on, I'm like, that's their loss because I know what I offer. I know my value. At a time, I did not know my value. But again, I am of Yah. So I got to be who I am, despite whatever they do. I got to be a friend. I got to be my brother's keeper. I got to do all these things, even if I open myself to injury, even in my vulnerability, I get hurt. And I definitely need to guard myself better, but I still have to have some level of openness so that when Yah is putting out for me, to reach for his hand or whatever, that I'm able to see it, even if it's in someone that I did not expect it to be. And also for me to be that also for someone that may not expect me to be that for them. Being a friend is definitely something you got to be charged with. I've had dealings with people that may be popular with people, and again, I may be viewed as insignificant, and I've shown them nothing but love. But in the end, they've shown me that I have no value to them, and that's their choice again. I'm still here. I'm still gonna be me. But let me go into my sharing some text here. I just want to share some things. I just was moved to do this, so I'm going to do it and be obedient. All right. Share my screen. I'm here in Michelle or Proverbs 17, and it says, "A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity." When I went through a lot of adversity, people I thought were my friends left me to myself, my own devices, and tore my Achilles, all these different things. When I was going through my divorce, I was left alone. But I've had several friends or people that I love, when they went through their divorce, I was there I'm not looking for no cookie, not looking for no reward or whatever like that, but they can't not say that when they went through their struggles, that I was not there. I sacrificed, so much for people that, and I didn't look for recompense or for them to match my energy, I guess you could say, because it wasn't because I was trying to be better than them or anything. I was doing what Yah had directed me to do. I was being obedient. I was loving them. Through loving them, I learned to love myself because I could see me in them, seeing them going through their struggle and stuff like that. And I could just, see if I was in that situation, what would I desire? Would I want help? Would I want somebody to be there for me? And so I offered my strength to them. Again, a lot of times I got nothing back out of it. Gave up monies, gave up things, a lot of material things and stuff, but I was being obedient to Yah. I don't seek no reward for that. I was being obedient. So let's go to the next text. Share my screen again. So here is Yohanan or John 15. No one has greater love than this, that one should lay down his life for his friends. Now, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna die for one of y'all or whatever. No, that's a whole different narrative or whatever. But I have um basically given up vehicles, given up money, given up things that I needed for my life to help others. I've done that. Now I believe in my heart that I'll die for my wife, who's my friend, but I'm not gonna say I'm gonna die because again, I have a responsibility, and as a steward, I have responsibilities. When I was in the world and young, before 25 or whatever, I did a lot of crazy stuff that I probably would have died for people I viewed as friends. But a lot of those people are no longer around. And if they are around, we don't have the closeness or whatever and stuff like that. So I could see that's not always something that a willingness, to do or whatever. It'd be nice to have relationships and to you know, I know I stick up. I put my neck on the line for a lot of people as a friend. And I don't get that same thing. I don't reciprocation is not really often happening. I don't have people speaking up for me when I'm spoken ill of when I'm not there. That don't happen too often. A lot of people that have dealt with me have allowed people to speak negatively on me in their face. They may bring it back and tell me about it, but they don't address it. A lot of people know my character, or I believe know my character, but then are willing to accept things that are contrary to my character. I've never done things to these people like what is being said, but yet they could believe it. It's amazing. It's amazing. One of my closest friends at a time, there was some very, very negative stuff said to me by my ex-wife, and they believed it. And it hurt. It tore up my household or whatever and stuff like that. It changed and altered a lot of relationships. But of course, I'm still connected with the people, but it's like it changed. But again, I'm me. So I'm gonna love a person in spite of what they do. Sometimes you have to love people with a long spoon or whatever and stuff like that for your protection to guard yourself. But I don't stop loving folks. I don't get to the point of hating people because Yah has not put that in me. I used to operate in hate, and when I hated people, I wanted to do stuff. I wanted revenge and stuff like that, and I can't do that and move forth as the minister, as the man that I'm supposed to be. Again, I always end up releasing people for what they've done and wronging me. I end up releasing them. I may not associate with them like I used to or whatever, but the hurt, it still comes up from time to time, but I don't lash out like, and sometimes I might speak on it or whatever. But I do it in a way that's not like putting their name out there or whatever. And some people say, "Oh, why you subbing?" or whatever. I'm like, I'm dealing with me. I'm ministering to me. Mind your business. Right now, when you speaking up and saying why, or you making posts or whatever about people subbing, you doing the same thing that you're accusing me of. You want to be a friend? Pick up the phone and call me. Just like you telling me I should call someone, pick up the phone and call me. But I have a lot of people's numbers in my phone, and basically the basis of the relationship is me calling them. And so since if I don't call them, the relationship ends. I was watching a video today. It was talking about how Clarissa and Layla Ali or whatever, Layla is in a position of, she was the one that was first up there. So Clarissa was be the one reaching out to her. And so Layla said some things on the Breakfast Club that Clarissa took wrong, and she basically lashed out. And Layla was like, okay, she could have called me. But I kind of like, okay, you took a position that she could have called you because she always was the one calling, but you couldn't take it out of yourself to make the call to her. I see fault in both situations, but I'm like, I see the power dynamics always exist in relationships that is amazing. I'm one that went through classes and learned about love languages, and that was mostly people were teaching me love languages when it dealt with marriage. But I'm like, love languages exist also in friend relationships. When you see that your friend is boosted by physical touch, so handshake, a hug, why would you not do that if you knew that stimulates them to greatness? If a word of appreciation or just acknowledgement, it boosts them up. Why would you not do that for someone that you love, a friend? But a lot of folks aren't willing to do that on things that they view as very minute and small. They won't offer that. They won't make themselves vulnerable. Things that, and I'm like, the vulnerability that is so small because they say, oh, that ain't nothing to me. So if it's nothing to you, but it means the world to them, why would you not give it to them? People don't look to be friendly nowadays. Even with people that they call friends, they don't look to be family. They don't look to be whole. What you want, you should be willing to give to others. But I guess people don't want friendship anymore. They like, they can roll with groups, but not have any type of true camaraderie where to the point that, okay, they might even get to the point that they would die for one of them. I'm not saying that you should, you got a responsibility to stewardship over your household, but man, it should be some growing in you towards this person that, it's like, man, I got you. You ain't here, I got you. If you die, I'm gonna take care of your family. I got you. But it ain't much brothers being brothers keepers nowadays. A brother can get sick and stuff like that, and a person can know about it and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, a friend of my wife's husband is having an issue right now. I stopped and prayed immediately. He's not really a friend of mine, but because that's a friend, the wife is a friend of my wife's. I care for him. I don't really know him like that or whatever, but I don't want to see anything. I want my wife to be whole, so her friend being whole benefits my wife. People they don't think like that. Nowadays people's word is not their bond. They say stuff just to appease the moment or whatever, and just to get past that moment. People don't mean what they say a lot of times. I'm gonna call you back. I'm gonna do this. They say those things as just to soothe the moment, but they ignore that they just lied. People will lie to you easier than tell you the truth. And I'm like, where's the love in that? Where's the relationship in that? Where is the friendship in that? You don't want to be lied to, so why are you so quick to lie to people? Okay, let me share another text. This one right here is very much used by people, but not function. So Michelle, or Proverbs 27, it says, iron is sharpened by iron, and a man sharpens the face of his friend. Man, I wish people would watch videos of the process of actually sharpening iron. Many people who are outdoorsmen know how to sharpen their knives. You gotta rub a stone against that blade. Two hard things. And the friction is what brings forth the sharpening. The abrasiveness of one and the abrasiveness of the other staying together, rubbing against one another, is bring forth the sharpening. I'm a man. So as many times people say you're an abrasive person. Okay, I'm a man. I want to deal with men. I'm not trying to get your softness, man. I got my woman for that. Sometimes I'm gonna deal with your softness, but that's not what I'm looking for from you. I'm not gonna stop you from being that because I'm gonna have my soft moments. But the abrasiveness of you, that I'm not trying to go along to get along. I'm trying to basically reason with you or deal with you in a way that it smooths out my rough parts and yours, so that when I go home to my wife, the roughness that I encountered with you or whatever, I can bring her the smoothness back. Use that for my teaching and everything else. So we can have differing opinions, but that don't mean we should separate. We should still rub together. Allow that friction to work some things out of us. But no, as soon as I'm abrasive towards somebody and say something that they don't like, but is it true? That's the question. You don't like how I said it, but is it true? I didn't say it trying to hurt you, so what's the problem? Now you might say something back to me in response to actually hurt me, but I'm saying it out of love, trying to make better of you. It's a difference. When you say something that's abrasive, trying to hurt somebody, and you got to know the difference. Your discernment should be on point. But some people, they whole thing, they want to claim you as sensitive, but they really the ones sensitive. They looking for a reason to separate and to divide. What's up with that? They don't want no friends. They don't really want a friend. They don't want a brother keeper. They don't want their iron sharpened, really. They want people to go along, get along. Want somebody to agree with what they talking about. If you got something to say about what they got to say, you got to walk on eggshells. Because if you cross the line, I'm done with you. That ain't no friendship. But I get it. Y'all don't really want friendship. If I got a booger in my nose, I'm on this camera. Somebody should, hey, check your nose. You ain't got, hey, check your nose in front of everybody, but you could tap me on the shoulder. Hey, check your nose. If my breath's stinking, hand me a mint. You ain't gonna say, man, your breath stink. No, you can hand me a mint. Man, you need to do something about that. Now, if we one on one, you could be firm as man, your breath. But I'm like, you ain't gotta front me off in front of everybody. You ain't, you know, it's a way of doing things. People always talking about I don't have tact, and I admit I don't. But man, lying to me on small stuff, why? I just want to be your friend. I just want to love on you. But you be lying on small stuff, why? You know, it's not necessary. I don't put that pressure on you where you have to necessarily do that. I'm a businessman, so I run a business. Most of my friends don't do business with me. I'm not mad about it. Most of the people I call friends, most of my family don't. I'm not looking for you to, it'd be nice if you did, but if you don't want to, just don't want to. Cool. It's not that I base my friendship off of that. The friendship had nothing to do with the business. Most time friendship came before the business. So you don't have to lie. If you don't like what I do, cool. No sweat off my back. It's not gonna hurt me. You might actually help me to think outside of my normal box to do more. And what I'm doing may not be for you. Be honest. If I mess up, how can I correct it if I don't know? You supposed to be the one got my back. Tell me. If I'm stepping out of line and dealing with people, I am my brother's keeper. When I tell people about themselves or whatever and stuff like that, hey, I'm supposed to be your peer. But people don't want to be peers. They want to be either over you or just stay at a association level. Accountability is what, men are supposed to be the ones that facilitate accountability. But men nowadays don't want no accountability. They don't want nobody to point out their errors. They ain't trying to fix it. They accept me how I am, but all while not accepting anybody else how they are. Come on, stop being hypocritical. Ooh, stop it. Stop it. All right. That not wanting to be dealing with nobody abrasive is funny to me. That just don't make no sense when you're using the whole metaphor of iron sharpen iron. And if you know anything about the process, it's going to take two hard things to actually have friction. Oh my goodness. It's like y'all say y'all know this word, but when somebody point out stuff that's right there, the visible, just think with a little bit. And now me even saying it like this, like, oh man, he trying to make it seem like we dumb. I'm not. But I'm saying, come on, use your critical thinking, use your mind a little bit. Because only reason why I'm challenging you, because I know you're smart enough. I know you got it in you to do it. I'm going to expect the best out of those that are around me. Otherwise, why am I around them? If I don't expect, I don't want to be around nobody that's low hanging fruit. That's them. I want them to be able to address the low hanging fruit, and now we can deal with the better stuff. We can elevate together. I don't want to deal with you know, basically bottom feeders. I don't want to deal with you. I'm not supposed to deal with bottom feeders when it comes to dietary law. So why would I want to deal with them spiritually? I want to help you elevate. I want to build this house, just like my wife builds me. But anyway, let's go to the next text. Next text. Share the screen. Uh, So again, Michelle of Proverbs 27, it says, the wounds of a loved one are true, but the kisses of an enemy are profuse. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I can pull that up in KJV or something, because I think it may read a little bit differently, and people may receive it different. So faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. Okay. All right. Let's come out of there. Look, I just got through kind of basically talking about that. If I'm telling you something to benefit you, regardless if it hurts, it's to benefit you. Get that. I see better of you. I want better of you. You got to make the choice. I can't live your life. I can't make you do nothing. I can't convince you. You have to be the one convinced. You have to choose. But as a friend, I would be not showing love to you if I wouldn't tell you, hey, better's right there. Look, I can receive correction. I love it. I see it. The Most High chasing those he loves. So I expect my friends, my family to chasten me, my mishpah to chasten me. I expect that. Now the problem comes in is when you know that there's a problem with me all along, and only reason why you're telling me is because now I've offended you. Yet you want to say you ain't offended, but you attacking me with stuff that you could have told me about a long time ago, stuff that I probably would have dealt with if you would have told me a long time ago. You're only telling me to back me off of you, to hurt me, to basically have me leave your issue alone. Now you want to point at mine when you should have already been addressing my issue. A lot of you, well, I ain't for me to say. Well, why are you saying it now then? Oh, you saying it now to hurt me, to injure me. That ain't love. That ain't friendship. And you expect me to receive that. Now, I'm gonna take when people say stuff to me, I take it to my prayer closet. As I ain't gonna, it ain't a real closet or whatever, but I talk to Yah about it. And a lot of the stuff that people have said to me has had me move down the line, even if they said it in anger, because Yah has said, "Yep, that's you." But it's hard to receive something that's coming in anger and hostility when you basically punching me. You wish to hurt me. If you could, you would kill me with them words. Shut up. Shut up, Shanquilla. Stop. And so many people don't want me ministering because my actual assignment is to say some of this hard stuff that people don't like to hear. That's why I've never had friends really like that. I've had people I was friendly towards, but look, I got it's gonna be my 35 year class reunion. And people reached out to me I'm one of the last ones to join the little group or whatever and stuff like that because it was surprising. I got a friend request from somebody that I know hates me or dislikes me. And I'm like, wow, but they on the board. So I was like, and I'm like, I still accepted the friend request, knowing that how they feel about me. And then I found out, it's class reunion time. I'm like, because I don't be holding on to stuff like people feel like I hold on to it. Yes, it does come to my memory and I talk about it because I'm consistently always dealing with me. I got to live alone with me. Right now, I'm on this thing. I'm at home alone. And, well, my daughter's upstairs. My wife is at work. I spend a lot of time by myself, and I'll be going to work, and at work, I'm basically by myself because a lot of people there ain't got no good thoughts towards me. Even when I was connected with Assembly, it was the same way. A lot of people tolerated, not like me. People would say you should be a part of stuff or whatever, and honestly, they don't really want me there because I ask too many questions. Most people make it as if I ruin their time or whatever. Now they having fellowship with me. When people come fellowship with me, when we're doing stuff that's not business wise or whatever, when we're doing stuff like for fun or whatever, and it's a lot of people. If they be honest, they'll tell you, Shanquilla have a good time. But most people don't think I have a good time. Most people think I'm a stick in the mud because all they do is they pay attention to certain aspect, but not the whole. Oh, you play cards? Oh, wow. I would have never thought. Oh, you watch movies? Oh, I never thought. I'm like, I got one of the coarsest sense of humor there is. Look at some of the stuff I share, but they only look at the things where it always seems like I'm judging or whatever, or they feel like I'm judging when I'm actually ministering to myself. But let me keep moving on, because this friend thing it's always funny to me. You know, I have so many people that I consider friends, you know, and I know they don't feel the same about me, you know. I'm like, I had this one brother come over one time, and you know, he was picking up his order, and I'm like, I had heard one of his lyrics on something, and he was like, you know, how he don't really have friends and stuff like that, and I was like, well, that's his decision, but I'm like, I view myself as a friend. If he called me and ever needed me, I got him. But I can't really call people and have them have me. It just don't happen, you know. I call people when I'm in a need situation, and I be I be I be butt out. So I've learned to basically gird up or set things in motion so I don't have to depend on other people because I found I can't really depend on people. I really can't. You know, and those that probably would be more dependable, they don't live in my area, so I be stuck a lot of times when stuff happens. That's why, you know, if I have a financial need, I try to put out a sale or whatever and try to get money. I try to put myself back to work on stuff like that. When I tore my Achilles and stuff like that, I was off for 10 whole months. And it was funny that the people at my work actually gave me money and all this stuff like that. Nobody that I knew that I had helped out in past offered a hand. People that I asked for stuff, whatever, they wanted me to pay them for everything. I'm like, hey, could somebody cut my grass? Because I can't do it. I don't want my wife out there doing it. I had to pay people. And when the money ran out, they got mad at me. You know, even though they was using my lawnmower, my stuff, I'm like, man, I'm like, wow. I'm like, now I have to be honest though. Brett Anderson stepped up and, you know, the guy, he came and took care of me. And I'm like, man, I'm so thankful. And I hadn't even known him that long. So it's usually the people that I know a long time that I've done the most for that I can depend on the least. It's usually somebody new or whatever, you know. I've always had this thing where I've ended up with newer friends, or whatever, because the people that I associated with the most, you know, they would give me all type of heck for, you know, bringing new people around and stuff like that. So, but anyway, let me finish this off. I'm gonna go and finish this off because I do got to start getting ready for work too. So I'm gonna share my screen again and get ready to roll this up. Sharing it and going on, going on, going on, going on. But now, right here, Shemuel Aleph or First Samuel 18. This is one of the most touching relationships to me. It's so much more I could talk on it, but I just want to share these couple of verses of it. It says, and it came to be when he had ended speaking to Shaul that the being of Jonathan was knit to the being of Dawid, and Jonathan loved him as his own being. You know, these crazy folks will try to make it Baruch, make it as if their relationship was something improper or perverse, but no, they became like brothers. Even though Shaul, Jonathan's dad, didn't like David because he seen him as competition. It says, and Shaul took him that day and would not let him return to his father's house anymore. And Jonathan and David made a covenant because he loved him as his own being. And Jonathan took off the robe that was on him and gave it to Dawid and his garments, even to his sword and his bow and his girdle. Look, Jonathan was in the line of king was the one supposed to be next up, but Yah had already picked David or Dawid. Jonathan wasn't even trying to compete with that. He like, you know, I know I'm naturally supposed to be the next up, but here he loves some Dawid. Man, you can show up and show out for people. Don't mean they will for you. You can be available. when they have needs, don't mean they'll be there for you. If you can't be friendly, how do you expect to have friends come back towards you or friendliness come back towards you? Do unto others as you expect to be done to you. So thus, regardless of how people disregard my friendship, I'm gonna keep being a friend. I'm gonna keep being who I am, even to people who don't show themselves friendly towards me. And people could say that that's a character flaw of mine, and I guess if that's what it is, that's what it is. But until Yah tells me to cut people off, I can't do it. I may still have some distance there, and I may not seek them out like that. But if they call a needing, if I got it, then definitely I'm gonna take it before Yah. If Yah tells me to move on it, I'm gonna move. My flesh may not want to, but I'm always trying to be obedient to Yah. Best, I used to feel like, oh man, doing this, I was a sucker. Mm-mm, not a sucker. I'm just being a son of Yah. Yah has done so much good to all of us, and many of us turn our back on him regularly. Yah's not a sucker. I know this term simp is out there. People, oh, you simp, simple. Okay, I'll be that. I don't even take it as an insult anymore. I'm not simping for women because I got my woman, and my woman treats me well. So anything that I do well towards her is well deserved because I can't even match, I can't even keep up how good she treats me. And with that, Yah's treating me so well, I don't deserve a lot of the stuff I get. So when I give out and I'm mistreated or have these bad relationships, Yah has to remind me, remember, I was the same one towards you that was giving you my all and you weren't giving me yours. Yah's my friend. I'm his son, but also friendship with him. I'm also his servant. So I can never get past the paradigm or the hierarchy that he's above, that there's nothing that I am doing that he needs. I'm the one that's invalid and you know that he's tolerating. You know, but he don't just tolerate me. He look to the point that he keeps expressing and showing himself friendly towards me, even when, no matter how abrasive I am. He's been sticking with me. And so I got to endure to the end also in these other relationships. Some of them, of course, I have to protect myself and guard myself. But look, if people be honest, there's many of people that have fell out with me and we back friends or we back dealing with each other. And they can't say that I'm treating them left. Still loving on them. I'm Shanquilla and I love me because Yah loves me. I agree with him. It's all so often I have not loved or liked myself, but Yah has shown me that he loves me. So I agree with him. And it's a lot of things that I don't get. I don't really comprehend. But I do agree that his will be done on this earth as it is in the Shamayim. So that means sometimes I'm gonna have to be friendly to people that have not the slightest of love or desire to see me do well. And I'm gonna have to trust Yah that He's gonna reward me for my diligence. So Abiyah, thank you for this day. May your healing be on those two brothers that I'm dealing with, the one that's with the possible stroke and one that's dealing with the pneumonia. May they hear your voice and be able to walk in authority over those issues in their health, but also be able to walk in your authority in the spiritual realm, knowing you better and thus displaying you better as they live from past this moment. I thank you for this opportunity to minister, and I accept your friendship. Though you be my master, I will display friendship to others and obedience to you, but also so that they may see that you are in this earth, though it may not seem that way. They can see a beacon of light in me if they choose, and if they don't, hey, that's on them. May your will be done in my household, in my life, in my walk. May I walk and talk according to your will and purposes. May my word be my bond so that I speak the truth, regardless of the eggshells I may shatter. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. All right. Shalom.